everyone, in this video we will cover the current affairs. I am Nuzhat Sana. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GK Today Academy app. You can attend the quizzes on this app for better practice, and after that you can also read the detailed explanation of the questions you have missed. For regular updates, please check our Telegram channel. The link is given in the description box. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. For hard copy books, you can visit our website gktbooks.com. Okay. Also, our latest initiative is UPSC Prelims Test Series for 2021 and 2022 in GK Today Academy app. So if you are appearing in UPSC Prelims, you may consider joining this. So now, without wasting any further time, let's get started. So today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 14th of June 2021. Starting with very first question, how many free transactions are allowed to the customers every month from their own ATMs? So recently RBI has raised the interchange fees on each transaction at the ATMs, which means automated teller machines, and this new fees would be effective from 1st of August 2021. So earlier what happened was, for all the financial transactions, the interchange fees per transaction was 15 rupees, but now it has been increased to 17 rupees per transaction. And for all the non-financial transactions, it used to be 5 rupees, but now it would be 6 rupees. And also customers are eligible for 5 free transactions every month from their own bank ATMs. Now talking about some bank related current affairs, which bank has launched digital platform named as Merchant Stack to provide the banking services to retail merchants? So this bank is ICICI Bank. And also there was an insurance company which has featured itself in top 10 list of most valuable insurance brands globally. And which is that? It's our LIC. The chairperson for LIC is M.R. Kumar. Now you have to tell me who is the chairperson or head of ICICI Bank. Question number 2. Who has been appointed as the chairperson of the Grievance Redressal Board of DPCGC, which means Digital Publisher Content Grievances Council? So recently IAMAI, means the Internet and Mobile Association of India, has announced that former Supreme Court Judge Justice Arjun Kumar Sikri will chair this council. And with what thing this council is related to? Actually it is an independent body which will act as the second tier within the 3-tier grievance redressal mechanism which was mandated in the new IT rules 2021. So the head for this council is Justice Arjun Kumar Sikri. Who is the present Chief Justice of India? It's N.V. Raman, who is at 48th position in the Chief Justice list. Also recently RBI has appointed its 4th Deputy Governor, to whom? T. Ravi Shankar. Apart from it, RBI has extended the term of Mr. M.K. Jain as its Deputy Governor for 2 more years. And who are the other 2 Deputy Governors? Third one is Mr. M. Rajeshwar Rao and 4th is M.D. Patra. Question number 3. Abdullah Shahid, President-elect of the 76th session of the UN General Assembly, is from which country? So this news has already been covered in the previous lectures if you remember. Abdullah Shahid is Maldivian foreign president and he belonged to Maldives. And recently he has been elected as the president of 76th session of UNGA, and Mr. Abdullah has appointed K.K. Nagaraj Naidu in his cabinet. And who is Nagaraj Naidu? He was India's deputy permanent representative to the UN ambassador. And he has also appointed Ambassador Thilmiza Hussain, who is the permanent representative of the Maldives to the United Nations as a special envoy of the PGA. Apart from it, there are few other appointments which are really important. For example, Patrick Amott, who is he? He has been recently appointed as chairperson of WHO Executive Board. Also, Antonio Guterres was in news because he has been nominated by Security Council for his second term as United Nations Chief. And one last personality, Anup Chandra Pandey. He has been appointed as new election commissioner and he will take care of the elections of UP, Punjab, Manipur, Goa and Uttarakhand. And President of Syria, I don't think I have to tell you again, because after multiple revisions, I hope you would not forget this name. It's Bashar al-Assad. Question number 4. The International Level Crossing Awareness Day, that is ILCAD, is organized by International Union of Railways based at which city? Actually, ILCAD is a worldwide initiative to improve awareness of the level crossing safety. And this campaign has been spearheaded by the Paris-based International Union of Railways, which is an international rail transport industry body. And this ILCAD campaign was established in the year 2009 by European Commission and UNECE, means United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. And the theme for this year was Distraction, with the motto Distraction Kills. Talking about some more important days from June itself. On 1st of June, we celebrate two of the important days. First is World Milk Day and second one is Global Parents Day. Then on June 3rd, we celebrate World Bicycle Day. These things we have already covered, but here we are quickly revising it. On June 5, we celebrate very famous World Environment Day. And for this year, the host was Pakistan. Now you have to tell me what was the theme for World Environment Day this year. I am giving you the hint, it is 3 R's. And on June 14, which is today, we celebrate World Blood Donor Day. Now one static question for you. Can you tell me which blood group is called universal donor and which one is called universal recipient? Do let me know in the comment section. Question number 5. Which country has announced to donate 500 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine to lower income countries through COVAX alliance? So recently, United States President Joe Biden has announced that they would donate of 500 million doses of Pfizer vaccine, which is a COVID-19 vaccine, to the world's poorest countries. And the US has also committed to buy and distribute 500 million Pfizer doses through the global COVAX alliance to 92 lower income countries and African Union. Actually, the goal here is to distribute total of 200 million doses by the end of the year, and the remaining would be done in the first half of the 2022 year. Now USA was also in news because of its heartbeat bill. What was it? Actually, it bans the abortions after heartbeat of the embryo is generated, and this is detected after the 6 weeks of gestation. So there were many states which were implementing this bill. Among all of them, North Dakota was the first state in USA to pass this bill. Now the problem is that Supreme Court is not validating it because it finds the law unconstitutional. So that's why this law was in controversy there. And also USA was in news because of its cyber attack on US Colonial Pipeline Company, which supplies nearly 45% of the petrol and diesel in the eastern side of the USA. Now one question for you. You have to name the group of that attackers. We have already talked about this thing 2-3 times. So please write your answers in the comment section. Question number 6. Which Indian state or union territory released the draft proposal for Master Plan 2041? Recently, DDA, that is Delhi Development Authority, has published the draft proposal for Master Plan Delhi, or you can say MPD 2041, and now it has invited public opinion and objection. So it's New Delhi. So actually this vision document for the next 20 years deals with several issues that will impact the city in the upcoming years. And for this proposal, any citizen out there can give their suggestions on the draft policy over the next 45 days. Now Delhi was also in news because of its National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Act 2021. Why? Because now it gives primacy to Lieutenant Governor there over the elected government. So with this bill, Lieutenant Governor has now got the priority over the elected government. Also, Delhi was in news because of its campaign, Jahan vote, wahan vaccination. Under this campaign, people from the age group 45 or 45 plus would be getting vaccinated at their respective polling stations. So this thing is suggested by the name itself. Question number 7. Which country holds the presidency of G7 in 2021? So this time UK has held the presidency of G7 and it has invited India, Australia, South Africa and South Korea to the outreach summit. So this year Prime Minister Narendra Modi is to virtually participate in this outreach session, and this is the second time when Prime Minister would be participating in the G7 meeting, because first time France had invited India in 2019 as a goodwill partner to this G7. So this would be India's second time to participate in this summit. And also few days back BIMSTEC was in news. Why? Because it had celebrated its 24th BIMSTEC anniversary on 6th of June 2021. Which countries come under BIMSTEC? So there are total of 7 countries: India, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan and Bangladesh. These are from South Asia, and Thailand and Myanmar from Southeast Asia. Now one question for you. Can you name which countries comes under the G7? Also, last month BRICS was very much in news. Why? Due to its various summit and meetings. And please remember that this year India has taken the presidency of this council. For which year? 2021. So this year whatever summits or events would be held by BRICS, it would be presided by India itself. So which countries come under BRICS? Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa. South Africa is the latest one to join this organization and it has joined it in 2010. Question number 8. As per the recent data from the Commerce Ministry, the exports of India's organic farm products rose by %% in 2020 to 21. So for this time period, export of India's organic farm products rose by 51%. So last to last year, the outward shipments of organic products were just $689 million, but this time it's $1,040 million. And also exports of organic products grew at 39%, which takes it to 8,88,179 tons last fiscal, in terms of volume you can say. And also in the previous lecture we have seen that India's export of agricultural and allied products in the same year, which is 2020 to 21, has increased by 17.34%. And also in the previous lecture we have talked about NUE, which is nitrogen use efficiency. Why this term was in news? Because researchers have discovered new gene for the rice which would help in decreasing the nitrogen pollution. Question number 9. As per the recent data from IMD, India received the second highest monthly rainfall for which month in the last 121 years? So as per the recent data from IMD, India as a whole has received the second highest monthly rainfall for the month of May in the last 121 years since 1901. Actually, average maximum temperature over India this May was just 34.18 degrees Celsius, and it was the fourth lowest temperature since 1901 again. And also there was a formation of a cyclone each in the Arabian Sea as well as Bay of Bengal during the May month. Can you name which cyclones were there in the past 2 months? Do let me know in the comments. Question number 10. The government of Nigeria has recently joined the microblogging platform Koo that was developed in which country? So this has been developed in India, and recently Nigerian government has joined it. And Nigeria was in news because Nigerian government has banned Twitter there. Why? Because this firm has deleted a tweet which was made by its president Muhammad Buhari. Twitter actually said that this tweet was deleted for violation of its term of service, but Nigerian government does not like it and hence they banned Twitter. Now Nigeria was in news for 2 things. First of all, scientists of Nigeria have found traces of bee wax in the potteries which were earthed there in Nigeria, and these potteries belong to the Nok culture. So that's why from ancient history current affairs this thing is important. And also Germany government has announced in May month that it would return the artifacts called as Benin bronze to the Nigeria. And what is Benin bronze? Actually, it is a group of 1000 metal sculptures. So after a long fight, finally Germany has decided that it would return this thing to Nigeria government. Question number 11. What is the GER, that is gross enrollment ratio in higher education, as per the AISHE report 2019-20? What is AISHE report? It is All India Survey of Higher Education, and this report says that GER during 2019-20 is 27.1%, which is an increase of 0.8% from the previous year, and total enrollment in higher education stands at 3.85 crore in this year, and also rise in female enrollment in higher education during the period was 18.2%. So all these figures are extremely relevant. Talking about Ministry of Education, few days back it has launched a scheme called as eSaksham in association with AICTE, means All India Council for Technical Education, along with Cyber Peace Foundation. What is eSaksham? Actually, it is a digital training program which will focus on developing the skills of 5 lakh college students and teachers in the domain of cyber security. Question number 12. Fermina, the longest cable in the world when built, is being constructed by which technology company? So, tech major Google has announced recently that it is building an undersea cable which is called as Fermina, that would connect the United States, Brazil, Uruguay and Argentina. And this cable will aim to bolster internet connection capacity between these regions, and the cable will also run from the east coast of the United States to Argentina, so as to improve access to Google services for users in South America. So the longest cable now is Fermina, which is built by Google. Question number 13. ESIC, which means Employees State Insurance Corporation, functions under the aegis of which union ministry? So it works under Ministry of Labour and Employment, and recently the Union Labour and Employment Minister, who is Santosh Kumar Gangwar, announced that casual and contractual employees of all the municipal corporations in the country would be covered under the ESI Act, and with his cover they will be entitled to sickness benefit or maternity benefit, disabled benefit, or you can say dependents benefit. So there would be various type of benefits which they can avail under this ESI Act. So after Employees State Insurance Act 1948, the Indian government has set up ESI Corporation to administer this scheme. Now few days back, Ministry of Labour and Employment has announced additional benefits for workers under the ESIC and EPFO schemes for dependent of workers who have been passed away due to COVID-19 pandemic. Okay. Question number 14. Which Indian state has recently launched DBT mobile application to transfer funds directly to beneficiaries? So this application is from Karnataka. Nearly 120 schemes in the state have been included in this platform, and the Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has said that for the past 2 years over 12,000 crores have been directly transferred to the Aadhaar linked bank account of the beneficiaries. Now Karnataka was in news for its plan of setting up a flower processing center. It would be established to convert the unsold flowers into its useful products. Coming to last question, which Indian state is constructing a smog tower to curb pollution? So as per the Environment Minister of New Delhi, the national capital is all set to get its first ever smog tower by 15th of August, which is Independence Day. So actually this comes under the pilot project which was inaugurated last year, but yes, the construction had been delayed due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. But now it would be completed till 15th of August as they are saying, and this would be 25 meters long, which will address 10 issues of dust pollution, vehicle pollution or pollution caused by burning in the neighboring areas. So let's see how much this tower would be effective in tackling the pollution. So now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from past 2-3 days current affairs. You have to pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to tell me your scores. And also do not panic if you are getting less than 3 or 2 or 1 or 0. It's totally fine, at least you are attempting, so you are better than those who are not attempting this quiz at all. And with time I'm sure this score of yours would also be improved, and one day you will get 5 out of 5 as well. So please do not cheat and be honest with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.